In my head I was like, I'm not supposed to have boobs. I wanted to be seen as like this young, childlike looking human being. I created a cult. Well, not really a cult. Getting those comments made me feel good about myself. I really don't know what I'm gonna experience watching this. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. So I have decided that I'm gonna be reacting to another of my very old videos. I kind of recently did this for the first time on my channel. I reacted to one of my old Cambridge vlogs and yeah, it was kind of interesting. If you are new around here, my name is Holly. I go by Holly Gabrielle online and I have been posting videos on YouTube and creating content for a long time now. Like I started way back when I was a student, but let's just say like a lot of growth has happened between like now and then and now. Yeah, I've changed as a person in so many ways, like emotionally, mentally, also physically, and that's okay, that's normal. The natural reaction to seeing your past self is like, oh my gosh, you know, like you can't really relate to that person. But I also appreciate the fact that I wouldn't be the Holly that I am today had I not gone through all of those past experiences, had those different chapters in my life and been all those different versions of Holly. Like it's still me and it's still in me, like my past self. But basically we're gonna dive straight in. I feel like that was a little bit of a philosophical ramble right at the start of this video, but I wanted to address that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to do more of these reaction videos. I have a lot of videos that I could react to, but today I'm gonna do a Q&A reaction. I'm gonna react to one of my first ever Q&As. I don't think I've ever watched this video back. I've done quite a few Q&As, but the one I'm talking about is from 6 years ago. My most personal Q&A, my sexuality, tattoos, boobs, my type, first dates, Holly Gabrielle. Yeah, this has a lot of views. Okay, let's go. Hey guys, welcome to today's video. So quite recently I put on my Instagram and Twitter that I was going to be doing a Q&A because it's been quite a while. But the difference with this one is that I wanted to answer a few more personal questions. So I am going to step a bit outside of my comfort zone, answering some questions. A lot of them were about like relationships, boys and stuff like that. So that is definitely out of my comfort zone and I feel a bit more like when answering these questions, but we're gonna try. Obviously initially, and I've said this before, I have changed physically. I do look different. Back then I was not like healthy and I kind of like tried to ignore that. But anyway, yeah, a lot of the questions I was apparently getting were about boys and relationships and stuff like that, so this is gonna be fun. How old am I? Okay, so I am 20 years old. Wow, I was 20 at the time. It is now December and it is 2024 and yeah, I'm turning 27, so yeah, this is like 7 years ago, or whatever. I'm just kind of used to it now, you know, the comments when I'm like, are you 12? And I'm just like, no, I'm at university, I'm in my second year. Yeah, the comments about me looking really young and yeah, like a 12-year-old, getting those comments made me feel good about myself. I wanted to be seen as like this young, childlike looking human being even though I was 20 years old. And I had this kind of like unhealthy obsession with having this childlike body. And obviously I was going through stuff, as you guys know, like mentally, poor relationship with food, my body, and yeah, that was one of those things where if someone said to me I looked a lot younger than my age, I was like, okay, wow, that's really good. Comments like that back then just fueled this unhealthy relationship with my body. I thought that was what I would look like for the rest of my life, which is totally unrealistic because it was unsustainable and my body did not want to be that way. I mean, it is okay to look young, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but the way it affected me and the way it fueled something that was very obsessive and controlling and just like toxic was just not good. Would I ever consider living outside the UK or England? Love this question. Yes, I have considered this and I will consider this in the future depending on what I do as a career. On the top of my list is definitely Australia. Yes, Australia. I kind of thought I was gonna say that. I can now sit here and say that I have spent 3 months in Australia and I fell in love with the country. I basically saw all of it except from the northeast, southwest, west coast. Yeah. At the end of my trip in Australia, I did not want to come home, even though I was really homesick. And I went on this massive emotional roller coaster whilst I was there. But yeah, I didn't end up living there. And I don't think I will end up ever living there now, just because as much as I do love Australia, it's just so far away. It is very similar to the UK in terms of culture. They just have better weather and stuff like this. I want to go back for sure, but I don't think I'd ever live there. Is my conclusion now, having like traveled there and also traveled to a few other places. But yeah. Also, I do get very homesick, as you guys know from my uni videos. So I know that I can dream about these things, and I'll say that yes, I would love to live there. I know that that would be something so hard to do. It would be a huge change in my life, probably the biggest change ever. It would be extremely scary. I still get homesick now. It is not half as bad as it used to be, but I still do get homesick. Feel different / not relatable to most of young adults your age. Yes, I do feel different because I don't drink alcohol, I don't drink tea or coffee, I don't really go out clubbing. I do drink coffee now. I don't drink tea. I drink matcha. I like matcha. I can now again sit here and say that I have tried alcohol and stuff like that. I went through a period of just like trying that and seeing what it was like to do that kind of thing and go out partying, and like again on the flip side, and now being able to look back in retrospect, it's not for me, it's not who I am at my core. And so yeah, I don't drink alcohol, never will do, never feel the pressure to. But yeah, with coffee, the reason why I drink it is just because it actually tastes really nice. And the thing is, like back then I was kind of in denial with coffee because I did like the taste of coffee. I liked coffee as a flavor and things, but I always denied it and said I just didn't like it and brushed under the rug because, I don't know, I thought it was bad to drink coffee. I was like, I don't want to rely on coffee for energy. I'm this high energy person, which I still am now. But again, it was like this thing where I was like, okay, I can't do that because in my eyes it's bad. Like I had all of these kind of weird ways of thinking about these things. Like now I drink coffee, I love the taste. I would prefer if it was decaf. I don't need the caffeine, whatever. I don't need to caffeinate myself. But coffee, I was definitely in denial. There's no point trying to be someone else or trying to fit in just to follow a crowd. I am definitely not one to just follow a crowd, because just if everyone else is doing something, it doesn't mean that you have to follow and you have to do the same. You just want to be yourself, you know, and live your life. I literally still stand by this. I'm so glad I came to this realization like really early on. And as I said, like this is a core value I hold. You know, the fact that I am a vegan and will be for the rest of my life. Like I don't drink alcohol. I just live life the way I want to. I know you don't have any boyfriends, and you're right there, but has anyone ever asked you out, and how did you handle it? Oh, interesting. Okay, the answer to this question is no, I've never been asked out on a date in my whole entire life. I did do a whole video when it was Valentine's Day this year talking about why I've never had a boyfriend and stuff like that. Interesting. What did I say in that? I can't remember. That was like my first Valentine's Day single edition video. I'm totally 100% comfortable in the position I am now. I'm happy being single. I love being independent, an independent 20-year-old woman. Yeah. I'm gonna hold off. How we say /12-year-old. I think. Do you see what I mean? Like I watched that back now, and it's like I wanted to get in the /12-year-old. If someone asked me out, I'd kind of freak out a bit, or at least internally, I would freak out and probably run away or say something stupid, incredibly stupid, because that is what I do in situations when I panic. Yeah, I don't know, I'm sorry, I'm just so boring. I'm definitely not a typical, you know, student 20-year-old, but I'm just Holly, you know. Yeah, I am just Holly. I was just Holly, and yeah, like I am really proud that I could sit there and, you know, back myself like I did. But on this topic of relationships and boys and stuff, like when I first went through puberty, so like in my early teens, or like when I first hit kind of secondary school, around that time, like during my first few years of secondary school, I kind of wanted to kind of mingle with boys. I went to an all-girls school, so obviously that couldn't really happen. We did have a boys school opposite, but like it was a popularity contest, okay? Like, and I just wasn't that. Like I was a geek. I loved studying and I would prioritize that over boys, even though I did try. And then obviously after that I lost my period, and with losing your period, a big thing that happens is you lose any libido, any sexual interest in the opposite sex. Yeah, I had no urge, no interest in that side of things, just because I had no female hormones in my body. Like they were just completely wiped out for like 7-8 years, and that is why I was the way I was, and I didn't realize it then. I just thought that was me and part of my personality, and I said I would always be a cat lady. As soon as I got my period back and things started to like kick in again, that is when everything changed. I felt bad because I was like, this isn't me, this isn't like who I am, this isn't Holly the cat lady and stuff like this. But it was just normal and natural and biological for me to then start feeling that way. Back then, I didn't realize that there was a biological reason for this, even though I did biology, you know?
Would you ever get a tattoo, and what would it be? This one might shock you, it might seem a bit out of character for me. I actually do want a tattoo, not gonna lie.
She still does not have a tattoo. I remember saying I did want a tattoo. I don't know, what would I say now? What would I say now? I think I wouldn't get a tattoo. I don't know, unless there was like a really genuine reason. I don't know. I really don't know. This is a tough one. Hello? Someone's trying to call me. Who's trying to call me? Okay, I'm not gonna answer that right now. I kind of live my life each day as it comes, and you know, if there was ever a time when I wanted a particular tattoo and it like genuinely meant something, then I wouldn't be against it.
Do you ever get bullied for being skinny? I have never, and I'm not being currently bullied for the way I look.
No. Yeah, no. The thing about this and my size is that I was not always like super skinny and basically underweight like I was then. In my basically like early teens and just a bit before that, like I was a very healthy normal weight, and at primary school I actually grew a lot before like the other students in my class. I was strong, I had muscle, I loved to play sport, I loved to run, and I also danced a lot, so you know, I was a healthy weight. But then obviously when I fell into this eating disorder and stuff, I lost a lot of weight, and that became my new normal. So for the rest of secondary school, that was what I looked like. People never judged me or bullied me. And then all throughout university, and then for a while on my channel, as you guys saw me, I looked like this, but it was not like a normal weight. It's not like the way I was supposed to be.
I don't really have big boobs. Some people are just flat chested, you know. Some people are just destined not to have big boobs.
And that's not me. That's not me. Oh my gosh. Again, I was in denial. Oh my god. This is another tough pill to swallow. As I said, and as I've spoken about, like I was obsessed with having this childlike, petite, very thin and frail looking body, and because I did lose a lot of weight, I became flat-chested. But that's not me. Like again, if I think back to when I first went through puberty and I first got my period and my body started changing, like I got boobs, you know, my boobs started to grow. Some people, yes, as I said, like they won't have boobs, that's their body type, that's their body shape, and that's normal for them. But this was not normal, and let me emphasize, healthy for me to look this way. It, as I said, took a lot of restriction and over-exercising. But in my head, I was like, I'm not supposed to have boobs. Now when my body can actually breathe and I'm at this healthy weight, I'm not flat-chested anymore, okay? Like over the past year or so, I have seen my boobs grow a bit more. I don't know, I feel like I'm going through a second puberty, or like it's felt kind of like that. My sports bras feel a little tighter and clothes fit me differently, and I see, you can't really see because I'm wearing this jumper right now. It's different, you know, like I said to Angela the other day, I was like, when I'm running, like I never used to feel like my boobs move at all because I was so flat-chested, whereas now, like, there is a little bit of movement there, and that's fine. And my boobs are rounded. I used to hate if there was like a little lump that I could see in a top or whatever. I was like, that's not me. I can't have boobs. Like, I can't have boobs is what I tell myself. This is so interesting. And the fact that I convinced myself that this is the way I was supposed to look just speaks for itself, because I was just ignoring the fact that I was keeping my body in this very unhealthy state. It's been like a journey for me to go through this and to come to terms with these things and to experience these changes. But like now, like, I love the way my boobs look. But yeah, again, like when people would make comments like this or say that I didn't have boobs, it just played into this ego and this persona that I wanted to keep and like hold on to for the rest of my life. But yeah, I'm so glad I've moved on from this. Let's see what else I said.
Okay, sorry mum, but my mum doesn't have big boobs at all either. So it kind of makes sense that I'm not really gonna have big boobs.
True, that is true. My mum, she doesn't have big boobs, and obviously I'm her daughter and genetically and stuff we are similar. But like, she still has boobs, she's not flat-chested, and I don't have like big boobs. I just have some shape here now.
You're flat-chested. We can be flat-chested together, you know? Flat-chested girls unite. Body confidence is something that I want to talk about in a whole video.
Oh, that's interesting. She wants to talk about body confidence, even though she was not confident in her body at all. Like, this is the thing, and a lot of people come to realize this when you've been through something like this. You think you are confident in your body back then because you have what you want. You want to be thin and you want to have no boobs and you want to have no bum and whatever. But on the other side of it, so like me right now, when you look back, it's like, wow, I was so insecure. But then I was convincing myself that I was confident in my body, which I wasn't. Whereas now, like, I'm in a completely different body. Well, not completely different, but you know, my body's changed. You know, I have the boobs now, I have the bum, I have more muscle, and I'm so proud of that. And now I'm like the most confident I ever have been, even though back then, I would have never have thought this way. If I'd have gained one tiny little bit of weight, it would have freaked me out. And I would have cried for days, and I would have had nightmares. It's just crazy how much this took over my life. Okay, ooh, bras. We're back to bras.
But do you ever wear a bra when dancing? I never know what to do. I have never worn a bra when I dance.
Of course you didn't need to wear a bra. I grew up dancing. Doing ballet, jazz, modern, you name it, everything. And being a dancer, like, there's this kind of like underlying narrative that, you know, you shouldn't have boobs and you should be thin, and, you know, especially doing like ballet, you should have like nice long legs, and, you know, you shouldn't have that much muscle, you should be really nice and thin and slender and whatever. And that is a problem within the industry in itself. But because I did dance a lot, like, this was something that also played into the fact that, you know, I wanted to stay small and petite. Someone's calling me again. Who wants to speak to me? Excuse me. Maybe I should answer it this time. Hello? Yep, it's Ollie. Oh, hi. Hiya. I just had to jump on that call. We also have a visitor who may... Oh, that was perfectly on cue, Mocha. I'm trying to film a reaction video, Minnie. You wanna watch? But anyway, where were we with the video? Are we still recording here?
Where do you fit into the sexuality spectrum? So,
ooh,
my sexuality, I am straight, so there's nothing really else to say about that. I know that I would be interested in boys. I'm not interested in girls.
Yep. That is still 110% true. I kind of said back then I was like asexual, and I thought that was like part of me. But as we said, and as we spoke about, there was a very legit biological reason for that.
Can you tell us what you find attractive in someone?
This is
okay, my type.
Such a good question.
Okay, definitely personality before looks. I think majority of people would say that.
But you do, like, you have to be physically attracted to someone. I also didn't realize that back then.
I don't know. I really don't know what I find attractive in someone because I have no experience. Zero experience.
Of course I know. Of course I know. I feel like it was in me somewhere. Come on. Give it to me, Ollie.
Let me think about things. Okay, so hair colour, no clue. I think maybe someone tall because I'm not that tall, so you can compensate for my kind of shortness. Tone, fit, you know, athletic, likes to do sport, keep themselves fit. Someone who has an interest in health and keeping themselves fit, as I kind of said, but...
Angelo, like, is literally this to the T. I feel like I did know back then that I wanted someone with dark hair colour, but I don't know why I didn't say it, but like, it's literally Angelo. I spoke Angelo into existence. I'm not even joking.
A genuinely nice person.
Yeah. That's true. That's also Angelo. That's wholesome to look back on, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. That's the best part of this video.
Are you planning on having a husband/wife, and if so, where would your dream place be to get married? If I was in a long-term relationship, I don't know whether I would get married at the end of it. I'm not really sure about how I feel about marriage at the moment. Obviously, if you want to get married, I'm fine with that. But whether I'd want to get married myself is like, I don't really know.
Marriage is something that Angelo and I have talked about a lot more than you probably think. The first thing to say is that I do not feel you need to get married to show others that you love each other. It's kind of, yeah, like, I just don't feel like you need that. I can love someone wholeheartedly and not get married to them. We know how we feel about each other, and that is enough for us. It's the purest form of love. You can get married, you can do what you want, but I just don't feel like you need to get married as this kind of like label, we could say, to show other people that you're a genuine couple sort of thing. On top of that, I'm not religious, and marriage is like deeply ingrained in religion and the law and stuff. I'm not saying I'm against that, like you can do what you want, again, as I said, but like, yeah, I don't know, it's kind of traditional, a bit too traditional for me. I'm not really a traditional person. I'm a very sentimental person, but I am not like traditional in that respect. Okay, we're moving on to children. This Q&A went deep. Children, do we really have to go there? This is another one. This is another question that I still can't answer.
If you have children, will you bring up vegan as well? 100% yes.
And I agree, 100% yes. Still, I want to read the top comment on this. I think it's so great how you can be vegan, not drink, study at Cambridge, and maintain hobbies whilst doing YouTube. It's really refreshing to see someone like you on this platform. Oh, that's really wholesome. It has 487 likes. And then someone else said, the next comment is, your singing is so amazing. 591 comments. And then, oh my god, the one after that. Yas, flat-chested girls unite. 827 likes. Wow, that is crazy. I created a cult. Well, not really a cult. I would not go that far, but yeah, I stood my ground. I'm really proud of the fact that, you know, I wasn't afraid of like speaking out, and I don't just follow other people for the sake of it, and I don't drink. I'm okay with being a bit atypical as a student and whatever. But having said that, there was definitely one huge elephant in the room. It was the fact that I genuinely thought that was my normal body type when it wasn't. I would definitely like to speak more like about this, because yeah, healthy to me is who I am right now, and yeah, like I've come such a long way. Sorry, we just had to change battery for the end of this video. For the majority of my time on YouTube, I have like looked like that. I have had this very like small petite body, and only in the past few years I've kind of changed, and I guess that kind of scared me a little bit because everyone knew me as like the Holly looking like that. But yeah, like I'm really proud that I've had like the courage and the bravery to change, and that meant stepping away from social media for a little bit, like not posting as much, not being as open about stuff, and not sharing as much in real time, because I needed to process a lot. And I've reached a point where my body is so healthy and I'm so happy and confident the way I am right now. I think I want to be more open about it now on Instagram and here as well, so let me know if you have any specific things you want me to talk about. But yeah, that was fun. I'm gonna stop this screen recording because that's such a large file. Oops. I would like to, as a third reaction video in this series, if we're gonna say that, I like to react to what I eat a day. I think that will be so interesting, and I feel like I will have a lot to say and react to. But yeah, like this video if you would like to see that one next. Leave any comments and ideas, as I said, down below. From me and Milka, we shall say, we're gonna say Milka, huh? Oh, we will, yeah, leave you with the bloopers and speak to you very soon in another video. See you, bye, Milka. Bye. You want a kiss? Kiss? Woo! This lighting, like, I either look super overexposed or like completely dark. That is, yeah, quite an intro. Right, what are we talking about? I have toothpaste on my top. Yeah, excuse me, Milka. What am I even doing? What do you think, Milka? Do you like bananas? Probably not. Milka, we have a juicy question. Can you please stop attacking me here? If you could have a mythical pet, what would I have? Of course it would be you, Milka. Do you like that, Milka? She went there.